Morning and welcome to this short thought for the day. Um, and Been thinking a little bit about intention. Um, Really, this thought for the day has come quite a bit at the last minute. It's a time when we're looking at how to reopen church buildings, things like that. There's a lot to think about. And in that, all of this time of relaxing lockdown restrictions um, has had me thinking quite hard. But then I found a tool that came with an email to do with a webinar that I took part with the other day. And it says a matrix to stimulate thinking. I don't know if you're like us as a family, but when we go on holiday, we really cherish the time, the relaxed time we spend sat around a table, chatting, having meals together, and things like that. We always go, we should do this more. How often do we say we should do this more? And then we get home, and for us, the reality of life is quite often we slip back into um, the bad habits, and we don't take the same amount of time or the same space for those communal times. And I wonder how much of that applies as we come out of lockdown as a church and just as individuals. And there's four questions on this matrix to stimulate thinking. And I think they're worthwhile questions for us to ponder, to take with us. First question is, what have we gained but are happy to lose at the end of lockdown? There's probably many things on that list, not least of which might be a bit of weight, though with the amount of exercise a lot of people have taken, hopefully most of us have stayed the same or even got a bit better there. But what are those things that we've taken up in lockdown that we want to lay down at the end of it? But also, what are those things that we've gained in lockdown and we want to keep? What are the good habits? What are the good things that we've done through this period as we start to relax, as things go to not normal, but a different normal? The other side of that set of questions, the what have we gained, is the what have we lost ones. What have we lost and we don't want it back? What are the things we laid down under lockdown that we don't want to pick back up? The burdens, the things where the habits of the old normal that we would like to leave to one side. But at the same time, there are those things of what have we lost and we really do want to have them back. Four questions. What have we gained? We're happy to lose. What have we gained? We'll keep. What have we lost that we don't want back? And what have we lost that we do want back? And I think they're really good questions to ask ourselves and to engage with. I mean, things like morning prayer, evening prayer on Zoom, I think those are things that we've gained that we might want to keep hold of. And one of the things that we've lost and we want to have back, I turn to Psalm 27, which is part of this morning's morning prayer. One thing have I asked of the Lord, and that alone I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the fair beauty of the Lord, and to seek his will in his temple. In some ways, that does speak to our desire to gather together, to worship together in the same space, and the place that that same space is our church buildings. And we do long for that. And we're thinking through, given that we have permission now to start opening churches for private prayer, we're just thinking through how to do that properly, safely, with the right precautions and the right resilience and robustness so that we don't start and then stop. And when we can open properly and when the PCCs are in a decision to make a decision to open, that it's the right time with the right things in place, then obviously we'll let you know as soon as we possibly can. But I'm also, just as that final thought for today, thinking the psalmist's desire was to see the beauty of the Lord in his temple because the temple was where the presence of the Lord was. But we celebrated Pentecost, the infilling of the Holy Spirit, that amazing gift of God dwelling in us, that we in effect become the temple. The church is the people, not the building. So as we yearn to get into our building, let's not forget that we individually and together are temples of the Holy Spirit, of the Lord, of God. And so the presence of the Lord should shine out from us. And let's just live with that. And in that, live with those two simple commandments of Jesus: love God and love our neighbor. Amen.